It's 2023. Nothing but net is ready to roll on, and I'm literally on the road as anticipated during the college basketball season. But it's great to visit with Mary Evans from Valparaiso. Mary, thank you so much for once again being on the podcast with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so give us a little take on how it's going out there. Give us a little bit about the landscape. What's going on in December on Valpo's campus?
Right now, it's pretty quiet. We're in finals week, so the regular students are finishing up their finals and they'll be heading home. And for us, it's the best time of the year. This is as a former athlete, and I think our athletes would agree, when you can put the books away and you get that month of just going to basketball practice and hanging out with your teammates and that's the best time of the year. A lot of opportunity to get better and a lot of opportunity to spend a lot of quality time together.
Most teams have exams this week, right? So it's a break in the schedule. It's something different. I mean, you want to allow your players time to study, but you also get to catch your breath a little bit too, like not prepping for every other day for a game.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to get back to getting better at you, and that's going to be a lot of what this week is for us. They were off the last couple of days to study. We'll get back on the court tomorrow with some individual instruction, and then really spend the tail end of the week just working on us and trying to get better at things that we need to get better at going into conference play. And then as we get into the weekend, we can start prepping for our tournament down at Stetson.
It seems like an unusual non-conference for the Valley this year because the Valley has taken on what has been an incredibly challenging and talented schedule and haven't usually come away with all the wins that they usually do. So how does this prepare the league, you think, for conference play? Because I think it looks like it's wide open and some of the records are misleading.
Very much so. I mean, there are some really talented teams that record is not who they are. And I think we all as coaches know who those teams are and will be prepared for them. But, I think it's, as a coach, my philosophy typically in scheduling is to try to schedule difficult. That's what my coach did when I played. And it often felt like when you got into conference, if you played that more difficult schedule, you were ready for the speed and the tempo and the pace of the conference that you're playing in. And so, that's been something we've done here. And I think a lot of the teams in our conference have done that. And I think you'll see some really competitive, high energy, fast paced games once January gets here, end of December gets here, and we kick off Valley play.
Okay, so I want to ask you this philosophically about how you go about conducting your business on this topic, because I think it's pretty interesting. I hear coaches saying, we didn't have our legs because we traveled, or we didn't have as much time to prep. Isn't that why you have them on campus in September and August and July, so that you could put concepts in so that if this team runs this set offensively, then you already know how you're going to guard it? Where's the balance between saying we haven't had enough time to prep and actually having the legs to be able to be rested and ready?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you get into conference play, it's largely mental. Like, you've got to know how you're going to guard certain things. You got to know how you're going to play against certain defenses. And I think it largely becomes who's the mentally tougher team, like who can finish a game. Everyone's going to be tired. Everyone's got the same amount of prep time or lack thereof. And you've just got to show up and be the stronger minded team to do your job and to focus in on every single possession and to play the way you're supposed to play. And I think most teams are the win in the Valley and win those games are just the tougher team.
I'm a visual learner, so I like to watch a lot of film. I like to, jump on a set that I think I see a coach run a lot, that I know that the other team's probably scouted as well, very, knows exactly what's coming, yet the execution of it is so critical. Are you, in your prep, are you someone that emphasizes three things and continues to bring clarity to that? Or do you have a bunch of things written on the board and you have a lot of film that you want to watch and your scouting report is 25 pages? Which way is it? Because both
it's
ways
one
work.
page. It's one page. We're a one-page scouting report. We tried to do some more stuff last year because we changed the way we played our defense last year. And and I didn't like it. I don't think the majority of the players, after we did some postseason meetings, really enjoyed it. So we've gotten back to the basics, and it's a very brief summary. There's 3 or 4 things we want to try to do offensively, 3 or 4 things we're trying to get accomplished defensively that we feel like will help us be in a position to win the game. And, this year for us, we've been very much about us and spending time working on us doing us better. We've got a lot of youth. We're trying to incorporate youth and new players into our program. And so we just want to be really good at what we do. And that might cause us to maybe not be the defensive team that we need to be, but we're going to mess around with some things and try to change up defenses and, try to be adequate there while we try to continue to understand how we want to attack teams offensively this year.
2-part question here. One is, how has Olivia Brown developed as a leader? And secondly, what are some of the things that you, without giving up all your secrets, that you might be working on to try to get better at, and how she's helping that happen?
Yeah, her and Leah have kind of really stepped up to be kind of my confidants as leaders. I think we've got some great leadership qualities in a lot of our players on our team, but I think they've really committed themselves to being kind of that vocal leader or that extension of me on the court. And I think they've done a great job getting in here, watching film with me, getting a better idea of how I think the game of basketball. Olivia has always, since she's been here, done a fantastic job bringing our new players in. She's got a little bit of that motherly quality. And I think she did a really good job this summer of welcoming in a big class of freshmen and our grad transfer and making them feel like they were already part of our family. And she's continuing to do those things. And she's grown tremendously in that. And leadership can look a lot different in every single program. But I think she's really been intentional about talking to me and getting an idea of what I think leadership should look like. Both her and Leah have. And I think that's helping tremendously with things this year.
So we're doing this podcast literally on the road, like trying to get Christmas stuff done at the same time. How's your Christmas shopping going?
Oh, it's not in a bad place. I'm fortunate. My mother moved in with us a little over a year ago, so I've got like a little personal assistant. So we got the Christmas cards out on time this year. She got on top of me about that, and she's been organizing things with my sister-in-law so we can make sure to get my nieces their gifts on time. And my husband's been tremendous on his side, getting a list of all the things we need to get. So we've been able to find the time to get most of it done. Now we've just kind of got to finish up our kids, and I've got to finish up my husband and my mother. So it's going well. I'm hoping to get the rest of it done this week during finals.
It sounds like having an extra elf in the house has been a big benefit to you with your mom being in there. How else does she help you? Because you got a couple of kids, you got a busy schedule.
Yeah, I mean, super busy. And, my husband sacrificed for a lot of years staying home with the kids, and he's back teaching now. And so our schedules are a little bit more hectic, but she's always there, when we need someone to pick them up or drop them off. We had morning practice, so she was getting up early and getting him to school when he had school. And, now that we're kind of back to me being able to drop them off, she's going to be getting them more in the afternoon. And it's awesome. I mean, they get to spend some really great time with their grandmother. I never lived close to my grandparents, so I think it's been really neat watching the relationship develop between both her and my son and my daughter. And we're very fortunate. She cooks dinner for us on the nights that I've got late practice. I'm living the life right now.
Listen, I'm going to be ringing you up when I'm traveling through that part of the state on my way from one game to another. I might need a hot meal.
Yeah, she's a good cook.
I bet she is. Well, Mary, we have enjoyed having you again on the podcast. Thank you so much for helping us launch this season. And we're always excited about the Missouri Valley on Nothing But Net. So thank you for being with us. And we wish you good luck as the season goes on. We hope we get to see you again.
Sounds great. Thank you. And thank you for everything you do for women's basketball.
Thank you.